David Aaker's research into how companies grow spans 9 books and well over 2,400 pages of business literature. Traditional marketing often operates as a tactical lever, focusing on short-term clicks, site visits, and immediate demand. The data shows that sustainable growth is driven by treating brands as owned, strategic assets. These assets dictate long-term organizational health and drive stock returns. Aaker identifies 16 specific takeaways to operationalize this asset-based approach for the coming decade. This blueprint begins with the foundational 5 Bs, a set of 5 core concepts that define modern branding. Above this foundation sits a strategy for establishing brand vision and executing market disruption. These pillars integrate with brand activation and portfolio strategy to support the overall business strategy. This framework provides the architecture for a brand to maintain its value in dynamic, disrupted markets. Brand equity is an owned asset. It operates similarly to a financial portfolio, representing the central idea that a brand is a strategic driver of a company's health. This equity generates ongoing value and provides a buffer against the pressures of short-term financial cycles. This chart shows how brand equity is built on 4 supporting concepts, beginning with brand relevance. Relevance requires visibility and credibility within a specific context. A manufacturer might have high credibility in hybrid vehicles, but that does not grant them automatic relevance in the electric car market. The second supporting concept is brand image. Image is the collection of differentiating associations, like organizational values or a distinct personality, that move a brand relationship beyond functional use. These associations foster the third pillar, brand loyalty. Loyalty acts as a persistent asset, where repeat, engaged customers provide long-term stability and advocate for the brand. The fourth concept is the brand portfolio. A strong master brand is supported by a team of sub-brands and endorsers that provide synergy and lend credibility to new offerings. Strengthening any single B creates a compounding effect across the entire system, while neglecting one can weaken the whole structure. A brand vision must look beyond functional benefits. Features related to an offering are easily copied by competitors. Durable differentiation is driven by the organization itself, its heritage, values, and purpose. Because these traits are unique and difficult to replicate, this kind of differentiation becomes the powerful engine for disruptive innovation. Many firms fall into a feature war, attempting to prove their brand is incrementally better than a rival in an established category. This map illustrates a different path, creating a new subcategory defined by must-haves, features or values so highly prized that customers will not consider alternatives. Establishing a must-have makes traditional competitors irrelevant to that customer segment. The company behind this innovation becomes the exemplar brand for the new subcategory. Being the exemplar allows a company to define the subcategory's vocabulary and control how the market perceives the must-haves. The exemplar maintains this position by continuously innovating and building barriers that prevent competitors from gaining relevance. Scaling requires achieving relevance dominance in a subcategory of the company's own making. A brand vision only generates value when it is turned into market-influencing action. Marketers today face extreme media clutter and a skeptical, often disinterested audience. The primary tool for breaking through this static is the signature story. A signature story uses an authentic, intriguing narrative to deliver a strategic message, bypassing the audience's natural resistance to a sales pitch. Effective brand activation also requires looking inward. This organizational chart shows the goal as internal branding, ensuring that employees both know and care about the brand vision. Mobilized employees ensure that operational decisions remain consistent with the brand promise. Leaders must also monitor 3 defensive threats: a declining subcategory, emerging reasons not to buy, or a loss of brand energy. Success depends on capturing the customer's imagination externally while commanding operational loyalty internally. In most large organizations, brands exist within complex, multi-tiered portfolios. A disciplined portfolio strategy is required to create synergy and clarity across different product markets. This strategy defines specific roles, such as the master brand that drives purchase decisions, and the endorser brand that provides corporate credibility. This relationship model highlights silver bullet brands, branded differentiators or energizers that lend critical energy and credibility back to the master brand. The greatest threat to this portfolio synergy is the organizational silo. Isolated departments often hoard resources and fracture the brand message, leading to inconsistent positioning in the marketplace. Breaking down these silos allows an organization to share successes and pool resources for larger, more impactful brand-building programs. A unified corporate structure is necessary to prevent a fragmented brand vision. Executing this architecture requires brand leaders to navigate two opposing corporate forces. Collectively, Aaker's takeaways form a dual mandate. The first force is strategic agility. Organizations must be fluid enough to adapt their portfolios and refresh their relevance as markets disrupt. The second force is brand consistency. Regularly changing a brand's core message destroys the familiarity and trust that make it a valuable financial asset. A dominant brand operates as a living architecture, dynamic enough to evolve, yet